where you been and where you going. This is Ari's travel show, yeah. We're gonna talk about travel today. It's You Be Trippin, yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to You Be Trippin, the world's only podcast. Okay, so today we have KFC from KFC Sports. Found it. I'm not even going to make the KFC joke. It's been done too many times. It's a travel podcast, and I've had a lot of like really world-class traveler comics on, but what I do want, which I'm interested in this one, is that I tried to get you on before, and you're like, I haven't been fucking anywhere.
Anyway, I went on a honeymoon to Italy and Greece. Great.
Okay.
I have gone, when I was in like 6th grade, my uncle lived in London for a while, so we did like a pretty extended trip there. It was like several weeks.
Yeah.
But I was like 12, so you can't really. And then other than that, it's just bouncing around like in America, like LA, Miami, like other than, like the Bahamas, shit like that. I am one of the least traveled people you'll ever meet.
Yeah, but I like that because it's like the listeners are both like world class, like hostile people who fucking stay gone for 2 years, and also people like, I don't know, I've always wanted to go somewhere.
Dude, when I have a map that I used to put up when we were like blogging, before podcasting and video, and it was just written blog. I had this go-to map that I would always put up, and I would X out every country. Every time there was a new story, like, man eaten by a lion in blah, blah.
I'm not going there.
And I would X them out. And within like 2 years, I had the whole world fucking X'd out.
I would just love to see a push pin, whatever. When I get a studio, I'll have like a push pin thing and just no pins.
None. That's
just where I won't go.
Zero. Not the biggest traveler, but finally got something in my passport. So
nice.
Yeah.
So what? Okay, so where are we going today? What's the story?
We went to Amsterdam.
Okay.
On a whim.
Fucking sweet.
Yeah.
On a whim. Why'd you go? Tell me why you went.
So about 9 months ago, we have Bert Kreischer on the show.
I think it's Brad Kreischer, but go ahead.
Actually, even better, the better description we heard when we were crossing through customs. They said, "What are you here for?" We said, "Bert Kreischer." He didn't really know it. We started to explain Two Bears, One Cave, and he goes, "Oh, the fat one." So we're there for Bert.
First of all, I mean, it's just that's a double one because Tom is now not the fat one anymore. He's lost so much weight. So that statement will hurt and compliment at the same time, which will make Tom laugh even more. What a great fucking...
Bert's lost so much weight when we look back at the clip 9 months ago versus now. Yeah. He's in better shape, but it's like the Jonah Hill effect. Once you're a fat guy, you're a fat guy.
You're a fat guy.
He could look like you tomorrow, and we'd call him fat.
Bert has this secret that no one knows about, which is what he'll gain massive amounts of weight and then talk about how much he's losing.
But he's
and then
never
off camera he gains it up and then goes, "Hey guys, I'm going to lose weight," and then everyone gets behind his fucking. Yeah. But then it's like, wait, how are you still 285? And it's like,
it's
because
a magician's trick. It's sleight of hand, but with your fatness.
Yeah.
But 9 months ago, he's on the podcast. We're talking. I think it started with Chappelle, where we were like, how crazy was it when Chappelle was able to just say, "Fuck it, I'm gone"? How many people can just
I would love
out.
to get Dave Chappelle on this podcast to talk
Imagine
about
the Africa trip.
What food you eat, not like why'd you go.
None of the bullshit. Yeah.
I'm not concerned at all about that. Right. Where'd you stay,
just
dude?
let
what
me
was
know
the
what you were
like?
doing.
Yeah.
But so in that conversation, he was like, "I'd love to just like go to Paris for the night. We're eating dinner in Paris, and then we're coming home." And then the conversation kind of develops, and he's like, "We're gonna do this." And he said, "Within a year, I'm going to hit you guys one day. You have 24 hours to get on the plane and come."
I love it.
And he was like, "You don't know. I'm not going to tell you where. I'm not going to tell you what. I'm going to say," he told us, "Get your passports ready." And then he said,
"Get your Pat B because you can't do that late."
And he said,
"Dude, I hate Bert Kreischer, but I love
it was great.
This."
And honestly,
I don't really hate Bert.
You should have him
but that
on.
is great.
What we just did, I think, could be its own travel show. Like a real travel show, not a travel channel. Not what he used to do.
Yeah.
The real one where it's like, this is what happens when you really fucking travel.
No, I would do that with Bert. Was like, let's just go somewhere and then we'll do this podcast about some other place, but we'll do it like in front of Machu Picchu, and then talk about Amsterdam.
So he.
Wow, he just
when we were talking on the podcast, he was like, "What about Portugal?" And so that was kind of on my mind. And then he was like, no, we're going to go somewhere crazy. So I was like, this motherfucker's going to take us to like the Sahara Desert or something like that. And I'm going to go from, never traveling to like the weirdest place in the world.
You look, you burn easy.
He told us that, Originally, it was going to be Morocco.
Oh God, dream place.
I know. I think I would have had a good time there, but last minute something came up and that didn't work. And then he was like, then I looked at his schedule. He was in Amsterdam for like a few days. Knew he was going to have a couple off days, and so this is last Monday, whatever the date was. I just get a text from him Monday morning, like 11 a.m. Clock starts now. And he put out a video saying...
What, Monday, clock starts now. You have 24 hours.
Yeah. It was a little more than that because it was like...
You got your tickets?
Yes. So it was 7:45 p.m. the next night. So a little more than 24 hours.
But he was the night before, so he's like, do your laundry, start now.
Yeah. That was the other thing too. Originally he was...
you got to get laundry. Somebody's like, do not have any underwear.
The original idea was just the clothes on your back.
I love that.
It ended up being a couple more days, so we were able to pack.
That could work because really, like, you can just get underwear.
Absolutely.
And you can
that's
get a pair
all
of
you
pants.
Need.
You can get anything.
I wear the same jeans. Give me a hoodie. As long as I can change my underwear, I'm good to go.
Everybody, I'll ask for travel tips at the end of this, and you can give me one. But a lot of people like pack light. That's a number one underrated tip. And the deal is like, what if it's colder than I think? Then get a
Buy
fucking
a fucking
coat.
Jacket.
There,
Yeah.
you'll have a memory attached to it.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So we get the text. Now, like, it's me and Feidelberg, my podcast co-host, John Feidelberg. He is 3, single, no kids, lives alone.
He can do it.
He can go, right? For me, this actually kind of weighed over my head for a while because I was like, it's going to be awesome and I have to do it. But I got 2 kids. I've got an ex-wife. I've got responsibilities. I was like, I know this is going to come on a day where my kids are with me or they have a special event or something.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the number one reason, this attitude of why I'm happy to not have kids. The ability to get up and move.
Go.
Me and Renazizi were doing Something's Burning at Bert's old place, at his old house. And he was like, we were talking about just freedom.
Yep.
And he goes, Ari's more, and Bert's like, I'm as free as you, Ari.
No.
And I just started laughing. He's like, what do you mean?
Get the fuck outta here.
Renazizi's like, Ari could just flip the table over and be on a plane in 6 hours and be
or,
gone.
Even more than that, it's the freedom to do nothing.
Exactly.
That's what people don't like. Yeah, listen, I'm the perfect example of like when you're single and young, you can just pick up and fly to Australia, but I never did.
Right.
I never did it, right? But what I did do is constantly just do nothing for hours at a time.
That's so great.
And if I wanted to be hungover all day,
responsibility.
if I wanted to wake up at 4:00, if I wanted to watch, I could do it all or not do it all. And then you have kids, and that shit goes right out the fucking window.
Yeah.
And it's also a classic case of don't know which got till it's gone or grass is always greener. All of a sudden, I wanted to be like, I wish I could just get a backpack and go.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, no, I don't. But it's just because I can't anymore.
I can't.
What do you mean?
I'm now at the place with a dog. It's like,
Right.
It's still a little too hard to do that. I've
know,
given up that level of freedom where and I have bookings on the road now.
Yep.
It
People
was
say,
easier when I had 3 bookings a year.
When they say, a lot of people say having a dog is like having a kid, and they're so incredibly wrong. It's not even close.
No, you're right. It's exactly like having a kid, and in fact, harder.
Well, here's the thing.
But more rewarding.
If you leave your dog alone,
Yeah.
for a couple days,
Yeah.
it'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
You
This
leave
is
your
why
kid
having
alone
a
for a
dog is
couple
better.
days.
This is why having a dog is
better
better.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It's not harder. You leave your kid alone for a couple days, it dies.
Well, it's harder to. It's okay, but it's harder to leave your dog alone for a couple
Because
days
they're
they're so awesome.
Yes,
Yeah,
I would
whereas your
love to leave
kid
my
is
kids
like,
alone
ugh.
for weeks at a time. Goodbye. I don't want to talk to you.
Okay, let's get back though.
So yeah, so
Bert
clock
calls you,
starts
it's like,
now.
go.
Yeah.
God, I love this
the
story.
only thing he
I
said.
did not know this.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome. It's really like a once in a
I'm
lifetime
calling
thing.
him as soon as we're done with this.
He said you have 24 hours. The only thing he told us was you need red clothes.
Really?
Or he said bring something red. Now we don't know what that's about. We're thinking. One of the guys we work with told us about something about he went to a red dinner in Amsterdam and it was like one of these like eyes wide shut like sex parties. I'm thinking like red. It's like I didn't know red light district. I'm like, are we gonna be like on stage in the district? I didn't know what we were up against. So me and Feidelberg said if we're gonna do this trip, let's do it fucking big. We go down to this place called Abracadabra.
Wait. What is that?
It's like a half costume store, half. Like movie props and shit. And so we went in and we were like, we need red suits and red clothes. So I ended up getting a red blazer and pants.
Why?
Feidelberg gets a red onesie, bell bottoms, button up, collared, long sleeve It was like this. It was like this wide red
Love
disco.
it.
It was awesome,
I love it.
dude. He looked like a fucking rock star.
You got a picture of him?
Yeah,
Let me see that.
It was.
That's so cool.
It was one of the coolest and he's like a pretty fashionable dude.
Feidelberg?
Yeah.
No fucking.
So like
I
ripping
did
a
see
cig,
that. That's awesome.
ripping a cig in these red bell bottoms.
You look fat in yours.
Yeah, well, I don't photograph well.
You're not as fat as this picture.
Yeah, I do not photograph well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, he looks fucking cool.
I'm happy you said that. You looked at me and you were like, no, okay, you're not
I want to
fat.
make sure.
Yeah.
No, I'll either go vicious or ironic. And you do not. If I'm talking to Lev Fur, it's vicious. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's not you. You just look fat.
Yeah, no, I do not photograph or.
Damn,
or
what a
appear
cool.
well,
How
but,
much was that outfit?
I don't know what his was. Mine was like cheap as shit. It was like, I don't know, fucking like $100 or whatever.
Wow.
But it turns out all Bert wanted to do was celebrate Chinese New Year, which is you have to wear red. So he's wearing a red hoodie and red sweatpants, and we're wearing a suit and fucking bell bottoms. But it was actually, I actually liked it better because it was like, it made it special. Heads were turning. People were like, what the fuck are these guys?
Dude, underrated is to go all out on a fucking outfit.
All out.
It's underrated. You'll never really regret it.
Never.
People were like, damn,
Even
that looks good.
if you're traveling and
Black
shit,
people will compliment
They
you.
do it all the time.
Yeah.
But they also do it all the time. They have the style and they are always doing it and they always are cool.
Who?
Black people.
Black people, right.
And we just wear like,
Yeah.
the same like hoodie and jeans every
Literally
fucking day.
wearing this for 8 days.
Every time.
Yeah.
And I think if you do it for when you're traveling, like make it special. But honestly, also like you go out for like a regular night, fucking throw on a stupid hat.
Throw on a
throw
hat.
on a fucking crazy jacket. Whatever.
Yeah.
It will make it that much more memorable.
Okay, let's get back to Amsterdam.
So
Hi guys, I'm interrupting here for a second to tell you that I'm a stand-up comedian. And I'll be performing in the following places. All tickets are available at AriShaffir.com. I'll be in Los Angeles doing my storytelling show May 9th and 10th at the Comedy Store. May 10th is sold out. May 9th is still going on. And then I'm going to Australia, everybody. Starting with Melbourne, May 16th and 17th. May 18th is already sold out. May 17th was added. Adelaide, May 24th. Canberra, May 25th. Brisbane, May 31st. And Sydney, June 1st. And that's it. Get tickets at AriShaffir.com. Also, my guest, KFC, has his own, Kevin Clancy, has his own podcast called KFC Radio. He does every week, maybe more. Get it wherever you listen to podcasts. That's it, everybody. Let's get back to the episode. Don't forget to hit subscribe wherever you're watching or listening today. I'm Ari Shaffir, and I do stand-up comedy. Hi, I'm your newest employee. I show up with socks in my hands and underwear. Why? I don't know. Why did you hire me is the better question. And I know why you hired me, because you waited till all the good candidates were gone. You were a loser. You were an idiot. You were on your phone checking the NBA scores, and you waited till all the good candidates were gone. You should have used ZipRecruiter. You dumb motherfucker! You dumb fucking piece of shit motherfucker! Now the whole company's in fucking jeopardy. Because you didn't use ZipRecruiter. You piece of shit. We're trying to start a fucking thing here, man. You got one fucking job. Find the right goddamn employee. And instead you found a guy who comes in underwear and puts socks on his hands. Oh, I live for the party. But how's he a job? Probably not that good. Probably not that good. Unless it's a coder. If he's a coder, sure. If he's a coder, sure. Coders are weird. But everyone else, this is the wrong guy for the job. And you didn't use ZipRecruiter, did you? You dumb motherfucker. You put us all in jeopardy. We're trying to get stock options here, bro. We're trying to get stock options, and you're hiring some fucking dude with socks on his hand, shows up in his underwear for a job? Fucking dumb fuck. Yeah, now we're looking for a new HR person. How's that? Guess where I'm going to get it? Goddamn ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology identifies the right candidate for you. This ain't it. How do you wipe like this? Oh, no. He's going to wipe with the socks. Then he's going to show back up at the job, and he's like, hey, I think sock guy just fucking wiped his ass with the sock, and now he's got shit socks at the office. Why didn't you use ZipRecruiter? God, you're so fucking annoying. One job is to get the right person for the job. I just touched my hand with the fucking shit sock. Amp up your hiring performance with ZipRecruiter and find the best candidate right now. See why 4 out of 5 employees who post on ZipRecruiter get a high-quality candidate within the first day. Can you imagine reaching behind yourself and wiping? Just go to the exclusive web address right now and try ZipRecruiter for free. What? For free? How do these companies do it? ZipRecruiter.com/trippin. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/trippin. And use this service for free. I'm Ari Shaffir, and I say, get a good candidate, not the sock in the hand guy who wipes his ass with the sock in the hand and then comes back into the office and has shit socks all over his hand and everyone has to do their job while shit sock guy is there. Now let's get back to the episode. Yeah.
We hit a 7:45 p.m. flight overnight. We land at 9 a.m. local time.
Perfect.
I was like, I don't know, maybe they're going to be sleeping, working out, getting ready for lunch,
You can't
whatever.
expect Bert to be up at 9 a.m.
Bro, we were at the bar by 10:15. I literally, my room.
I thought you were going to say we're at the fucking
Nope.
Van Gogh Museum.
Nope. My room wasn't even ready. I had to leave my bag with the concierge. We were at the bar, joint in hand, beer in hand by like 10:15.
Bert got you just like, here, let's go.
For whatever reason, there was like 7 of us, 8 of us. We had 3 different joints going. It was like so unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I mean, back in my day, I partied, I drank, we did it all.
Yeah.
I hung them up, and I pretty much retired for a while now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Amsterdam and Feidelberg's a booze bag, and I'm going with the Machine.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was like, I'm like a little bit nervous about
literally,
this.
Norman opened for him 3 years ago in Europe, and he goes, "Hey, how do I keep up with him?" And
Right.
I had to tell him like, sit near a plant that you can throw half glasses
Fake
of drink
it.
into.
Yep.
And then just realize you will not keep up with him, so don't try.
So I actually was able. There was 2 reasons I was able to do it. Number one, I think I underestimate my underage drinking days. Westchester, New York, early 2000s, I think was a drinking culture that is unlike anywhere else in the fucking world.
Yeah.
I was like 15 years old
And
in
short
a bar.
spurts. You don't have to go long term on
Right.
this. It's a short spurt.
And I just needed to dig deep one more time and fucking throw the fastball. Also,
do you remember that? I think was it Damn Yankees? Some play where the guy makes a deal or a book or whatever, makes a deal with the devil to be a great baseball player, and the deal gets revoked as he's rounding third in the World Series, and then suddenly it turns into a fat whatever, and it's just him. But him is fucking but he's legging it out because he would have been saved by a mile. But I was like, shit,
I gotta make it.
short spurt, you can do it.
And so there was 2 things. One, it was just smoking weed and drinking beers.
Yeah.
When the shots start flowing is when I get in trouble.
Yep.
And there wasn't that. 2, Amsterdam, and I don't know if this is common in other places, but they offer small, medium, large beers almost everywhere.
Always
So
go
I was
small.
able to go like round for round and just get medium beers,
Right.
which was a pint, by the way. It was like a regular beer
Right.
versus a fucking like bucket of
with
it.
a handle.
Yeah. And so I was like, this is great for me. And then I would just like smoke a little weed. But we went nonstop. It went from like coffee shop to Chinese food restaurant to another coffee shop to red light district. Woke up in the morning, did it again, went to Bert's show, went back home.
You opened it for a show?
No, we
just went to
Yeah,
hang.
he had Maddie Smith was there, Shane Torres was there, Mark Smalls were there. They were doing the show. We were just like along for the ride.
Wait, let's describe the red light district.
So
How would you think of it?
We stayed in a hotel that was fucking beautiful. Bert put us up in a great spot, and it was like I don't know any of the streets or the areas, but it was you walk out and you go this way, and you are in like beautiful museums and restaurants, and then 1 block this way was the red light district. That's unbelievable to me that it's just like they kind of keep it separate, and it all stays pretty like in its own little area,
You know what's cool about Europe is that they're not embarrassed by their little areas of seating.
like fucked up shit. Yeah,
It's just part of their city.
And I think they very much they take like open container and public urination, all that shit very seriously.
Right.
So they're like, we're gonna let you do all this shit, but don't fuck it up. Don't make it a mess.
Be
don't
a
trash
fucking
on
adult
it.
about it.
Right. Fuck your
Yeah.
hookers and keep it clean. Like let's be adults about it. Yeah.
Christiania in Denmark is the same way. They're like it's school field trips to where they sell weed legal. It's like, oh, it's just like this is part of our city.
Right. Let's just be
The
adults
red light
about it.
district
Let's be
here
real about
back
it.
then,
Oh,
42nd
my God.
or whatever was
Yeah.
like stay the fuck
Disgusting.
away.
Right. Dangerous. Fucking violent.
Yeah.
This is just like here's where you do your dirt.
Yeah.
I had never, again, not
wild,
a traveler, so I had never done any of that sort of shit.
Describe it.
So I don't think I quite understood the idea like of walking down like a little alleyway and there are just chicks in like phone booths. That's
It looks like
that's
that.
fucking wild.
It looks like
It's
that.
like the zoo. They are just it's like a Barbie in a fucking box, and you can just be like, I'll pay and fuck you.
And
That
then-
is
and then where do you
crazy
go?
to me. So I actually
How
didn't do
many
that.
did you fuck?
No, we did
More than 10
like
or less than 10?
We did. We did like the.
I'll make sure your wife doesn't see this.
I like the interactive shit. Like we did like a bunch of guys sit down. We went to the banana bar, which is known for this banana trick that these girls do. So we sat down. I think we paid $400, and you get like an hour's worth of several girls. It's almost like a 3-act or 4-act like play. So the first one comes and she's like, you can rub my tits. I find this to be very weird. The whole table's sitting there.
Tits, yeah.
So it's more of like a bachelor party thing.
Strip
but they're
clubs in
all-
general are weird. There's too many dudes around.
I think it's very strange. She was gross, by the way. Fucking disgusting. Huge, fat, sloppy tits. Weird scars. God bless her. She's trying to make a living, but I was like, I wouldn't even look your way, let alone do I want to do this. She gets out some lotion, and she's like, go ahead, rub my tits. Now, I'm like, I'm going to do whatever for this show here.
Do
the story.
they need rubbing?
But I'm like, you know, it was very embarrassing. Feidelberg, she was like, you're doing it wrong. She was like, stop it. He went under the tit, and she wanted more. I couldn't believe this, Ari. I almost passed out. She pulled this reference out. The year of our Lord 2023 in Amsterdam. She said, have you ever seen Karate Kid? She wanted wax on, wax off. I couldn't believe it.
This is the banana bar? This is at a strip club?
It's more of like a club, like a loungy
Gentleman's club.
But there's stripping. Like it's not like there's a pole and a stage. It's more like we were at like a little horseshoe shaped bar.
Okay.
And they get up on the bar. So she wants everyone to rub her tits. And it kind of goes around the table and then comes back around when you can rub her ass. And all of them, every single girl in the club, butt plug in at all times. Walking around, bending over, hanging out, talking, plugged up the whole time.
Why?
I'm assuming to use it later and be.
What were they concerned with?
I think it's just to keep the space, keep it ready. But so there's some tit rubbing, and then the second part was like another girl comes and the second part was she said, give me a name. I'm gonna write a postcard. And she takes out a marker, puts it in her pussy. And she says, give me a name. So we said, our coworker of ours, Glenny Balls. And I thought she was going to write Glenny Balls on a postcard with her pussy. She starts to work at it. And I'm looking at her face. She's
Like,
kinda,
what do you mean? Like leaned over?
So she put a brick on the fucking bar and then put a postcard on top of the brick and then kind of did this like one knee thing, like this, puts the marker in. And then I'm watching her. Her face is kind of like when you're doing a math problem and you're like, really working on it. And she's moving around. She's moving like one of those 3D printers, like up, down, up, left, right, back, forth, back, forth. And when she was done, you ever see those Instagram videos where someone paints and then they flip it upside down and it's like an elephant? Mm-hmm. It was like that. She like spins it around. And again, I thought it was just going to say like Glenny.
Yeah.
It was like, Dear Glenny Balls, welcome to Africa, love pussy. And it was written like in calligraphy with hearts and all this shit. I was like, I'm not turned on. I think you're gross.
It's impressive.
But this is impressive. This is
phenomenal you do in
work.
Thailand. The writing and Papong.
What's that?
So they on Papong Street, I guess. It's just like this. They go like this. They fucking put a marker in their pussy, and they just kind of
wiggle around,
move around, and they write something. Not that nice though.
It was. I think Bert actually still has it. I want to get like a picture of it. It was like,
oh yeah, I gotta get a picture.
Beautiful penmanship. It was fucking unbelievable.
Wow.
So that's round 2. Round 3 is finally the banana bar. This is where the namesake comes from. 2 chicks start like kind of making out. She takes a banana out, puts a condom on the banana, like a good hooker does with her mouth. You know,
I mean, you don't want to get
how the professionals
disease.
do. So she puts it in, and then they peel the banana, and they ask guys to eat the banana.
No.
And
No.
I'll tell you my biggest problem. I was like, I don't like banana. I was like, I just don't want to eat. I hate
was
bananas.
not your biggest problem.
I hate banana
That
more
was
than
not your biggest
I
problem.
hate the banana more than what the banana is inside of. So that's
Wait,
was
did they make you eat it?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm not going to be like, I can't.
Wait. They peel it. Excuse me.
So the banana's
Please reiterate.
in, and then the part that's sticking out gets peeled. So you're just kind of biting it, you know. Imagine if I was
But you're
holding
getting right near their
yeah,
pussy.
that's all. You're not like getting inside of it or anything. It's not like you eat anything that's been inside of her. It's
I
just
mean,
what's
technically
holding
right.
it.
It has not been inside of her. It
Right.
still feels pretty gross.
Oh yeah. So then they say, who's getting
Shouldn't
spanked?
red light district Biggie turn on? instead of a disgusting?
Well, so this is more of a shock value thing.
Okay.
And at this point,
Like my comedy.
I'll be honest. I'd rather do something like shock value than sexual.
Yeah.
Like you got to be pretty fucking desperate and like not get much sexual attention to be like, I want to rub your tits. Like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So this is more of like, it's more of like, this is wild, right?
Wow.
So she says, who's getting spanked? Now remember this, Bert Kreischer had been there the night before. He walks into the banana bar. The people go, "Oh, you are back. How are you?"
Throws money around.
Now this is a place that you probably go once your whole life. Bert goes there twice in 2 nights. I think he had gotten like the treatment, like spanked the night before. She says, "Who wants it?" He points right at Feidelberg. Man, she beat the fuck out of this dude. Laid him stomach down, pants down, took his belt out, and it was not like a little like. She went over her head.
What?
Whack. 1. Whack. 2. It was straight out of Roots, man. It was like Kunta Kinte shit. And then, and I'm thinking it can't get any worse. She's slapping him in the face.
What?
She's beating him, man. And he's just laughing. But I can tell he's also like,
All right.
another one and I'm swinging back, you know? All of a sudden, she grabs her stiletto, takes off her high heel, and puts her stiletto right in his ass.
No. In his butthole?
In his butt.
The hole?
In the hole. Not like 6 inches in, but he was like, it was in there. Rolls him over and sticks it in his mouth. He then gets off the table and he says to me, was that in my ass? And I go, I don't know. You fucking tell me, man. And he goes, no. The one that she put in my mouth, that was like a different one, right? And I was like,
You're like,
no.
I can't be sure if it was in your ass or not, but,
But
if
it was.
if anything was in your ass, it was the one that was also in your mouth.
Exactly.
Oh my
that.
God.
So that was, he got the treatment there. They also do this thing where guys were holding a vibrator in their mouth, like with their teeth, and then they would like bounce on them, which is also like, I can't hold it. Like I'm gonna break a tooth doing that. And then they a lot of, if you do any of that shit, they also just drop it like on your face.
It's just like hooker pussy too close to your face.
Disgusting, man.
I mean, almost regular pussy that's too close.
Your average girl off the street, it's like, no thanks. Although, you know, it's kind of one of those things. They're actually like the cleanest people, you know?
Right, because they know they're about to present it.
And they have to like, I mean, at least, I don't know about, you know, when it's like porn, these girls are tested regularly. And
that's what they say about Tijuana whorehouses. They're like, oh, they want, if they, any of them get herpes, it's going to kill business. They just get them out of there immediately.
Right.
Yeah, they don't care about them. They care about the business.
So I'd imagine, but also I could also see in the red light district, it's like, yeah, whatever, girl. I don't care. Do your thing. And then the finale was this chick. She sat on her back, throws her legs over her head. She blasts away with this vibrator and then like shoots it. Like gives it a good like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6th one shoots out, and certain guys were like trying to catch it. You had to like kind of like catch a punt. Oh, it was a trip.
And then they catch him like, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to do this game where I'd play in high school. I'd put my hands behind my back. I'm like, guess which hand? And if they're like, right, I'm like, oh, nothing. And then I go next, you know, guess which hand? And then they guess, you know, whatever. If it was in there, I'm like, yep. And I throw them something and they catch it. It was just my retainer. My wet, and they're like, ah, but you catch it.
Yeah.
Why would you catch a fucking,
because you throw things at people to catch it.
Yeah.
It was like a badge of honor to catch the dildo.
Wow.
You drop the dildo, you got bad hands. It's like a fumble.
Did you get...
So I'm rolling watching all this shit. To me, it's like
fun. It sounds fun.
Fucking, it's not sexual. It's not like anybody's like, you know. It was like, this is just preposterous.
Hey, today's episode of You Be Trippin is brought to you by CutsClothing.com. It's laundry day here at the Shaffir house, and I could wear something else, but nothing is as breathable as Cuts Clothing. Yeah, it's wrinkle-free, sure. And they have sweatpants that are stretched to fit. So if you're fat like Bert, you don't have to make up an excuse, I lost weight, and Photoshop your stuff. You can just get more breathable, looser-fitting clothing. But at Cuts, what I like is the breathability. Nothing's like it. Only, I would say, my bare skin. So instead of wearing some competitor's clothing that's, I can't breathe. It must be like the Hiroshima. No, not Hiroshima. What's the one where they, where the whole nuclear plant like imploded? Shakamuki? Tsukamoto? Nah, you know what I'm talking about. It's in Japan. Anyway, they had to send in older people to go in there because it was so rank with fucking radiation that they were going to die. They were going to die. And they went in there anyway. They devoted their time, their lives to save not only the people of Japan, but the people of the whole world. Those brave men and women saved us all. They went into a cloud of radiation, unable to breathe, knowing they would never come out. Yeah. Fukushima? Something like that. Anyway, the way they went in, that's how I feel without Cuts clothing on. Unbreathable. That's not a world you want to be in. No. Plus, it's wrinkle-free. So you're not out there looking like you're allergic to your iron. But it's not just that. I've also got a special money offer for you. For a limited time, You Be Trippin' listeners get 20% off your order at cutsclothing.com when you use code TRIPPIN at checkout. Yeah, it's 20% off your order. That's amazing. Is that right? Wow. 20% off your entire order at cutsclothing.com with promo code TRIPPIN. I got to see that again. Damn, it's true. They're going to go out of business. Don't take them up on it. They're doing the right thing by sponsoring this. Don't take them up on the 20% off order at cutsclothing.com right now by using the promo code TRIPPIN. I mean, if you want the money, sure. But if you care about a small business, you won't take that order. But just between us, go ahead and take that 20%. Cutsclothing.com, promo code TRIPPIN. Hi, guys. You know, when I started the You Be Trippin' podcast, one of the last things I was thinking about was selling to customers directly through my website online. Yeah. Now, sure, I had a dream of finding used pegs and getting them into the hands of consumers, but I didn't know I could do that. I thought I had to go to the park, Central Park or other, and do it door to door, hand to hand. But now there's a new way, Shopify. Yeah, a company used by over 10% of all e-commerce providers in America has shown me the way. They allowed me to find my used pegs and get them to my fans. Yeah, it's an underutilized market. Used pegs. So what happens is a lot of these people are pegged out. These guys experimented for a while and they're no longer into it. Pegs, you know what I'm talking about. Pegging. For people named Peggy. Pegging. In the butt. And they're like, oh, let's just throw these out. And I said, no, let's do something good for the environment. Let's do something good for the environment and reuse these pegs and get them into the hands of new people. New people that care about pegging and don't mind a little preconceived notions, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they want that stank. And I thought, how do we do it? And Shopify stepped in and said, Ari, we can help you. You can help me get pegs, use pegs into the hands of consumers? That's right, they could. They could, and they did. And if you go to arishaffir.com right now, you can find yourself a nice used peg. We also have new pegs, but we prefer you not to use those. That's only for the non-adventurous, and we call them a starter pack. What we do is we offer you one used peg and one free peg. We want you to use that new peg, ship it back to us. We'll get it into the hands of someone who only wants to use a used peg. Why don't you get your own e-commerce started? And if you go to shopify.com/trippin, you can get your $1 per month trial. Yeah, that's $1 per month at shopify.com/trippin. Guys, if I could do it, so can you. Get your own version of your own peg company started. Yeah, it won't be as successful, but it will be less disgusting. Shopify.com/trippin. All lowercase. I'll see you in the peg scene. Now back to the episode.
And then I guess the other thing you can do is watch people fuck. They did that the night before, and they weren't that into it, so we didn't get a chance to do that.
My daughter went to that.
Your daughter?
Yeah. Went to that in Amsterdam, and I was like, I'm not going.
Yeah, I mean that.
Jessica Michelle. Yeah, she went in there, and she was like, it was very clinical.
Yeah, that's. I think it was also. I heard like there's no music playing. It's not like the crowd is like yelling. It was just like they were watching. Yeah, and to me, if I'm watching two people fuck, that feels like I'm watching porn. That means I'm gonna come.
Yeah, exactly. I'm either going to come or going to heckle.
Yeah, I'm not going to just sit there quietly and watch. I'd rather do something where it's like, this is absurd. We're giving like The Bachelor the treatment. We're being ridiculous with him and laugh about it rather than the regular strip club was the most aggressive I've ever been in my life. It was like man-to-man defense. Like we walked in with a few guys and she was like, I've got him, you got him.
This was not the Banana Club.
This is the upstairs.
She went to another place.
No, it was like the same place, but like downstairs is where they do the show. Upstairs is like a traditional dancing spot.
Interesting.
But they are like, we want lap dances in private for $90. We don't want to do this bullshit out here.
Right.
And the guys, again, we're there to like party, not like, So we're like, no, in a strip club when you give the old like, maybe later.
Yeah.
I got to get settled just to get them away. They did not take that for an answer. They were not about that. They were either like, you pay
Come
us
on.
or we're going to get some guys in here who will.
Oh, right.
So we quickly left after that because it's like Bert had a great moment. Bert ever being the like party starter.
Yeah.
He's trying to make it into a game. He says, I want you to the stripper. I want you to pick one guy here that you want to give a lap dance to, and I will pay for it. And he's holding a wad of cash. And he goes, you pick. And she goes, you.
To Bert?
To Bert.
Yeah.
The guy with the fucking money who's clearly
It's like,
excited
well, I can get
about
more out of it. Yeah.
Right.
Smart.
So,
These ladies are smart.
they are very smart. They are very savvy. They know what they're doing. Bert was desperate to get somebody to pay for a lady of the night.
Yeah.
He was like, I'll pay for it. You go do it. I just want to hear back. I want to report. But everybody kind of kept it above board in that regard.
Oh, really?
I don't think, listen, some of them were ladies I would just never really look at. Not my type. Yeah. Some of them who were all good, but I don't really, I'm not.
You wouldn't have gone for it.
And also, I just don't want to have sex with a condom.
Oh, yeah, you've been married too long.
No,
it does suck.
It sucks.
It sucks. I mean, you remember it. It sucks.
Yeah, it's just not.
So your options are fuck a hooker without a condom, which is almost for sure going to get you in trouble with your wife.
I'm not married anymore, but I'm just, I'm not, I just don't want to have sex with a condom.
Fair. Fair.
I usually maneuver around that, and I'm not, a hooker is not the type to. That's not the one you want to play.
So we had
that
a
game
friend in starting comedy, and he would talk about going to Tijuana, which is like a way lower level of this.
Yes.
And he'd be like, I just pay him to go down on them. We're like, what? He goes, yeah.
He goes down on them?
Even they look at me like, dude, you don't want to be.
Are you sure?
Okay,
Oh.
so that's the.
That's the red light district. There's this other side of the city, though, that is like beautiful architecture.
Yeah.
1630 or whatever it was like first founded. And the canals, like I never, I think of Venice, and it's like the
the
city.
canals,
but
exactly.
the canals were like, I never. First of all, this is a region that I'm like, okay, so we're going to Amsterdam, and the people there are Dutch. Are we going to the Netherlands, or is this Holland?
3 things.
Or is this Belgium?
Everybody thinks Amsterdam is a country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody is Holland. Yeah.
I don't know where we are, what they speak, what
What do they speak? Dutch or
Dutch.
German?
No, I guess so, but I'm just saying,
Similar.
like
I
what
don't
is the Netherlands kind of like the UK? Like it's a bunch of countries.
I don't know.
That's what I mean. So I didn't know where we were.
I just found out what Netherlands means.
What does it mean?
Lowlands.
Oh, okay. See, I feel like if I had to guess,
That's like nether regions.
I would say that
means low
right,
regions.
Right, that makes sense.
Because it's also like that's why it's all underwater. And they have
Netherlands.
those things
Yeah.
pumping the water out because it's so low under sea level.
Interesting.
Fun fact.
My buddy almost fell in the canal, which would have been amazing.
Oh, that would have been great.
Could you imagine my buddy was just floundering in a canal?
It's
But
pretty.
It's very and an alarming amount of bikes. To
Yeah.
the point that people
Forgot
said
about
that, and I was like, listen, New York City has some fucking bike lanes that are always zipping.
Yeah.
It's not even close. There are bikes, and they are flying every fucking which way.
Yeah.
I've never been uncomfortable crossing the street. I'm like, we jaywalk. I almost get hit by a bus every day. This was like, I had to put my phone away, make sure I'm like, okay, where's the
Did you
bikes?
bike at all?
No.
It's in that whole area. I did it in Copenhagen, and it was like if you're in the wrong lane, like you pull up, like when you start in a bike, it's wobbly for the first 2 pedals, and then you get going. That wobble, like what the fuck,
People
fuck
hate
out
it.
of the
Dude,
like,
there was. It was
it's
about,
like the same as if you're driving like this as you start up at a light.
There was, I guess, like a bike lane, a sidewalk, and a street that were all the size of like one sidewalk.
Right.
Like the cars, the people, and the bikes are all supposed to fit there. I'm like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. We went to the Anne Frank house. Now,
been there.
Now, I'm an idiot, I guess. All my life growing up.
Did you not know it was related to the Holocaust?
No.
How much
What's
of an
the
idiot were you?
Holocaust? That was when we landed. The taxi driver taking us to our hotel was giving us the lay of the land, and then out of nowhere goes, the Holocaust. They are the youth. They don't believe it happened anymore. They're not teaching it in the schools anymore. I was like, what? I feel like in Amsterdam you should know about the
You should
Holocaust.
know a little more, yeah.
But I guess the kids there think it's a hoax.
To drag like birds.
Yeah, birds
hear
aren't
that?
real.
Birds
yeah,
aren't real.
Yeah,
That's
It's
maybe
a
my
government
all-time
hoax.
favorite.
It's the best. But so the Anne Frank house, all my life growing up, I thought was going to be like a cottage in like the Sound of Music, like hills.
Interesting.
I did not realize. I never pictured it in like a city. So I was
Describe
thinking
it.
it was like a suburban house.
Okay.
And then I hear it's in Amsterdam in the city. So I'm like, okay. And then I go to it. I didn't go inside of it. So to be fair, I didn't get the full experience.
You did not go inside.
No, we actually, the only reason I was going,
You just want to see Anne Frank's doorstep?
I wanted the pancakes. And I was told that the best pancakes are next door to the Anne Frank house, which
Hold on.
also feels weird.
Hold on.
I said, I love those pancakes.
What do you? Yeah, let's talk about the pancakes. But wait. Because my favorite grilled cheese of all time is I'm opening up Google Maps so I can see exactly what this is. Is right under the Anne Frank house.
Is it in like the coffee house basically?
So like, tell me if I'm wrong. Because it's been a few years.
Let me-
The canal's right here.
I have a picture of it on my phone.
Okay.
I took a picture.
Okay, canal's right here. Right. This is canal.
Yep.
Anne Frank house. But the entrance to the Anne Frank house is like is like up some, like right there, and then the coffee shop is like right where this pin is, and it's down a few steps.
There, as I understood it, it was like there was a coffee shop.
Is it Pancakes Amsterdam? West
Yes,
Market?
that's where I was trying to go. I didn't end up going because it was closed, but they told me to go to Pancakes Amsterdam, which is literally
this
right
might be
next
the
to
one
it.
with the grilled cheese too, right next to it.
The glass right here is a coffee shop. So like you can,
No,
you
it's
can
not that.
go
I mean
in
the
it.
front. Yeah.
But this right here, this
Yeah.
looks like a new apartment complex in Jersey City.
Yeah, it does look
I
nice.
could not believe
It does look nice.
I was like, Anne
That's the
Frank.
Anne Frank house.
I was like, Anne Frank's got a fucking balcony. Anne Frank her apartment would cost like $4,300
that
a month
picture.
if it was in New York City.
Yes, that dude. I had a bit about that in my special.
I couldn't
she
believe
lives
it.
so nice.
That's,
She lives so nice that if it was like, where's Ari here? Yeah, it's like you live right on the water.
It's beautiful.
Oh, dude, you should go in there. So much more room than I've ever had.
I'm anybody who's ever lived in New York has lived more rough than fucking Anne Frank. Give me a break.
Yeah.
I could not believe though.
Also, the noise complaints would be an issue, but that's about it.
Probably. the glass like coffee store front underneath it is not considered like disrespectful.
They should. You know what? You're absolutely right. They should have made that more somber.
Yes.
They should have left it as is.
Yes.
Kind of run down. Keep it up so it doesn't fall, but like keep the rundown
Keep it
vibe of it so
real.
you feel like this is what it was.
I expected to have some like gravitas, like a moment
like a
where I
gift
was
shop.
like, wow, it is the most sanitary. And what was crazy was when I said, I really love these pancakes. I want the best one.
Yeah.
And they go, it's right next to the Anne Frank house. It would be like if I said, like, where's the best burger in the city? And they were like, hit the 9/11 memorial and then get the best burger you got in town.
Yep.
Fucking crazy. Anywhere else that would be like, this is so disrespectful. And in the Anne Frank house, it's like, get your pancakes here. It's crazy.
Wow. I will be back in May, and I'm going to make sure I know which is the right grilled cheese. My brother told me, he lives in Europe, and he goes, somebody went there and he said it was a terrible grilled cheese sandwich. I'm hoping it didn't like suffer from COVID. Maybe they just went to the wrong place.
What's so special about it?
It was like 5 different cheeses. It was made with
They put
care.
butter on the
it
bread.
took like 25 minutes. They really went after it. And you're like, this is an amazing.
I'm gonna have grilled cheese for dinner tonight.
You should.
That's
Because you
fucking
also
great.
you can do it yourself.
Yes,
You
it's
can do
an
it
easy
yourself
thing to make.
amazing.
You know what I heard recently? People do mayonnaise on the bread instead of the butter. You ever do that?
No, but those people should kill themselves.
Right?
Yeah.
Butter, bread,
yeah.
butter, cheese. Give me
Yeah.
a fucking break. I could not believe how much the Anne Frank house disappointed.
How?
This place sucks. Give me a fucking break, Anne.
How were the pancakes? Do you have stroopwafels?
So what are those?
It's like flat. It's got a little caramel on the inside. It looks like
No.
like a flat pancake, like that.
We
thick.
had the little, like $silver pancakes.
Separate from the pancakes is
Okay,
stroopwafels.
this
They come with like tea or coffee.
because they had like the big like crepe pancakes.
Yeah.
but then they have the little ones.
I saw a
I think
picture
they're
of
more
it
like
from your Instagram.
sharing, bro.
What?
It was people said eat the French fries and eat the pancakes.
What? Like they don't have French fries here?
That's
they
what
would
I
have
said.
to do it demonstratively better. Not just, oh, this is where it came from. Who gives a shit? It's like going to the first Starbucks in Seattle.
I agree.
Go to the 18th one and get the same cup of coffee.
I agree, but the fries were good and the pancakes were fucking amazing. So I was kind of like, you know what?
Sit corrected.
They even said the mayonnaise. They were like, you got to dip the fries in the mayonnaise, and I was like, I've had fries and mayonnaise, and it did. They were crispier. And they were better, and the mayonnaise did taste like
They care more.
better. Yeah,
Right.
it puts like it's not.
Oh,
as,
I will
not
tell
as
you,
fake.
it's going to upset you the more you travel. I think it's the FDA. I'm not sure,
Food
but
is
the
just
level
garbage here.
of what they allow us to serve ourselves here, it's so much lower than almost every other country. The eggs are all GMO. They're all
Yep.
yellow instead of orange.
Yeah.
Everything's just worse. So when you eat junk food in Edinburgh, you will lose weight compared to what you eat here.
Maybe I gotta leave here. Maybe that's the key.
Yeah.
Those pancakes.
Who'd you get pancakes with?
My producer Nick.
Okay.
And
Nick the Dick?
Yeah, Nick the Dick. I got an order of 12 of them.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I could have put down like 175 of them. Nutella.
And those are the ones covered in Nutella. Yeah.
Oh, and the whipped cream with some strawberries. You can get them with apple. You can get them with. It was like they're puffy, like air puffy, but also
How big were they? What were we talking
like
about?
tiny,
Tiny ones,
and
but
I got
a
like
lot of them.
12 of them. But I could have had like 4 orders of that. I was just shoveling them in my mouth.
You
They
could have
were
orders, not
unbelievable.
because that's the right amount. It's because you've never gotten them before and they were good.
And yes,
Right,
and
okay.
I got an extra stomach for those things. I could put
It's
them
fun
down.
when you're traveling. You're like, oh, I'm not going to be back here. Let's pig
Get
the
it
fuck
all in.
out.
I will say that I didn't have a good meal. We went
You
to a
did not?
Chinese food place. That was fine. But I didn't get like, and I don't even know, like some sort of strudel maybe or fucking
did
schnitzel
not
or
get a
whatever.
good meal.
I don't think I would be impressed with the pancakes.
It's not
But other
known
than that,
for cuisine, I don't
yeah.
think.
You know what it is? I think it's white people.
What do you mean?
Like I think Italian food's great. I think like Spanish food has some flair to it. But if you're
'Cause
talking,
those are brown whites.
yeah, there's some ethnicness to them.
Schultz had a good joke about like you need suffering for good food. If
Probably,
everything's nice.
yeah.
Or no, what is it? How you mistreat your women is how good the
How
food
good
will
the
be.
food
'Cause
is.
it's like no one's ever like, let's get some Canadian food. It's
I
like
don't-
they're 100% equal in that country.
Oh, you're saying
so
well,
women
no,
are
because,
equal. So it's like
brother,
who likes Canadian? What?
Ireland blows that up. The
Good point.
Irish blows that up.
Good point.
Terrible food, and they treat their women terrible.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
You're right.
sorry, Schultz.
All right.
I do
Doesn't
think
stand
though,
up.
like if you think about like the UK
Yeah.
and these parts of Europe, I don't think anybody's like you gotta have.
Well,
the,
UK
the
finally
Belgian
figured- yeah.
food. You gotta have
Yeah, yeah, right.
the English food.
It's like if you're in the UK, it's like try a good Thai place.
right, and that's yeah.
UK
you're
finally
not-
figured out our food sucks. Let's be the number
Let's-
one of
like
getting
America.
everyone else
Like,
like
we'll just-
America. Absolutely.
But I feel like if you go to Italy, you want the Italian food,
Mm-hmm.
Spanish food, the tapas.
Yeah.
It's almost more anywhere that's like near water and like tropical and shit, right? I
Yeah.
feel like if you're like landlocked in Europe, I guess France might have good food.
France is known for it, but also
But even they
beaches on
just
both
throw
sides.
fucking butter on everything. That's it.
No, that's not it. They care about it.
You
But
think
also,
so?
I was coming back from a escargot and like duck at like 11:30 at night. It was in France, in Paris, and I'm walking home and I looked into some. When you can look in windows like New York when the ground floor.
Yeah.
And there's some guy eating on the floor with this plate on this bed, and I'm like, it's not fine dining everywhere. It's just
I
pretty
did have
disgusting.
caviar for the first time, and I don't think that has anything to do with Amsterdam. I just had never had it, and Feidelberg was ordering it, and I had it.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
get the
fine.
hype.
It's about. I think caviar is about scarcity.
Yeah.
It's like these
but
are
it
hard
didn't
to
have
get.
much like flavor to me.
Nah,
like
you have
it
to
was
put
like
salt on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's like
sucks.
this is just any other spread you can put on a cracker.
Yeah. I'm gonna try Bert and ask him. Should we try him real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Ask him how he felt about you guys, or what. The
I
fuck this
was like happy that he seemed because I was like this dude parties with a lot of people. Maybe we're gonna like disappoint.
It's crazy.
He was like
called
this is
you.
one of the
I
funniest.
would not have expected him to call you.
I
guys.
thought he was like he said it and he planned to do it and then he was like I forgot about it.
Yeah.
But he followed through because I really was like. I was like, is it going to happen? And then like 6 months go by and I was like, he's busy. He's not going to do it.
Yeah.
And
That's the best though.
fucking did
When
it.
you forgot.
Oh, it totally blindsided me. It was amazing.
Wow.
I was like, I'm going. I'm doing it.
Bert, leave a message.
At the tone,
There's a fat one.
Yeah.
He
Finally changed his
told me
fucking
he was
voice
like, it was one of the funniest, the two funniest moments, two of the funniest moments he ever had in his life was me watching Feidelberg with me and then watching me with Feidelberg, like having both of us at that strip club to laugh at while all the crazy shit was going on. I think he just appreciated how much we were like
You're getting into it.
Yeah.
Dude, when I asked because we did Norman's bachelor party in Tampa, which is a Bert
I'm
Central
sure.
place.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, who should we invite? And I'm like, invite Bert. And you're like, he's too busy. I'm like, I know he's too busy. He will be happy having been invited.
Oh yeah.
And then
then
we're
he
like,
took
can
it
you
out,
come? He's
like-
like, oh, I'm coming. And I'm going to change the fucking vibe.
I was gonna say
He goes,
not
you're
a-
telling bachelor party at Tampa? He goes, I'll cancel
Anything.
big gigs for this.
He'll throw his
he came
family
down
in the
there with
dumpster for that.
matching top and bottoms. This one matching top bottoms that we all went to a strip club with.
No
with
way.
these, with no
That's
underwear, so we could
fucking
come in our
great.
fucking pants
That was-
like gentlemen.
He did. He changed out of his sweatpants before the strip club like a gentleman.
Okay.
We were not allowed in the casino because he was wearing sweatpants. And I kept telling him, I was like, he's the rich one. Like you're not gonna let this guy in.
As rich as he is, he still is trash.
Still wearing sweatpants.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. At least Tom tries to buy nice clothes. He tries to pretend like he's not trash at least.
Have you done Amsterdam?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
Have you done?
I'll be back in May.
You seem to be pretty floored by the shit I was telling you. Had you not done any of that shit?
I took a walk.
You just
down,
fucked the hookers.
I took a walk down. I did not fuck any of the hookers. I took a walk down the red light district, like going through the alleys, and then seeing it slowly change from the quote unquote normal ones to the darker and darker, the more outskirt alleys, until you get like trans, and then like not trying trans, which is just like a dude.
This guy just has a dick with a wig on.
It's a hairy chested big dude with a bikini.
I don't think we must have not gone that deep in because
You can explore a lot.
we went through like 2 alleys and they were all.
Did you feel at all when they like knock and say, "Come on in"?
No, it was very
that's
actually.
good.
A lot of them were on their phone. They
Yeah,
were like,
they're on their phones
They
now.
were like looking like, yeah, what you in or you out? What the fuck's the deal? And there was a couple that were like giving you the eyes, and there were a couple that I was like, oh my.
Do you have a picture
God.
of you in front of them?
No, I should have. I feel like they.
tacky.
The one thing I read was like, don't do that,
It's
and I
tacky.
was like, yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
last thing I need is some
gen-
like pimp
yeah.
like punching me in the face.
In general, pictures of with you in a scene instead of you and your friends, whoever there in a scene. So if it's in front of the canals, don't just get a picture of the canal. Like, hey, Feidelberg, come in here,
Sure.
take a picture of us.
Yes.
To timestamp it, but not
but not
don't
in front
take
of
a picture of strippers.
the zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you want to go back and do now? There.
In Amsterdam,
Yeah.
specifically.
What did you like do? Like, I definitely say, like, if somebody's going, hey, I'm going, I've never been.
Yeah.
You just went. What should I do? Like that you did or that you didn't do?
I mean, I think if you're gonna do the red light district, like I find it funnier, like I said, to do like the fun, wild, like circus shit than just like have sex with a hooker.
Right.
That would be, if you're
Yeah.
gonna do the red light
Yeah, I
district,
did
do
not
it
go
that
to
way.
Banana Bar.
I feel like we took a canal boat to Bert's show.
Oh, cool.
And
Canal
that
boat.
was awesome. It was it's one of those Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, those little low boats that are like float in the water,
Yeah.
And it had like a little bar in it and like a little table. You could sit on the outside if you wanted to. You could sit on the inside if it was too cold. And we took like a very quiet, slow. It was just like, and
Up the canals?
we just like very slowly drifted through the canal to the theater. That was awesome. If there's some sort of like sunset canal boat to a restaurant on the water sort of thing, I would want to do that. I would want to see a little bit. Oh, and I didn't see any Van Gogh stuff. I didn't realize that Van Gogh was like that was his spot.
That was his spot.
I didn't know he's like from Amsterdam.
I guess
lived
so.
there?
I did go to the Van
Yeah.
Gogh Museum, and I remember it being cool.
Yeah.
Or nice.
Like they have all his like
Oh, the ones you recognize.
they're all
If you're
here.
seeing art, there's 2 things you're going to see at art. Is like walking along, like the Met, or the MoMA, and go, oh, I like this one. Who made that? Okay, I won't remember the name, but cool, I looked.
Right.
Or seeing paintings that you definitely
Like
recognize.
Starry Night and shit like
Starry
that.
Night,
Yeah.
exactly. The
Yeah.
guy with the apple on his head.
Yeah.
The shit like, oh, it's that one.
that's the one.
And then it
Yeah.
is cool to say, I
I've
actually
seen
saw it
the
live.
one. Yeah. I did go on that trip I talked about before when I was younger. I went to England. I was like 12. We went to the Louvre. We popped over to Paris, and I felt it was cool to see some of those things like real in the flesh. So I wish I had known about Van Gogh because that seems cool. And I bet that there's some sort of like architecture tour or like there.
If you're not into it, you're not into that.
Every street though, like I remember I came upon like a courtyard almost that had like a huge fucking church and like birds like flying around in like this little center area and like a roundabout, and I was like, oh, this must be like the center of the city, right? And then I go like 2 more blocks and there was like another one of those and another one of those and another one of those, and like I every time I thought I had found like the Times Square of Amsterdam, if you will.
Yeah.
I found like another one of those type of things. So I felt like there's a lot of different like
Did you feel
squares,
yeah.
if you will.
Did you feel like European? Could you feel
Yeah.
Europe?
Oh yeah.
When you
Big
went?
time. Big time with that. That's the one thing. Like the cities, like all of like the townhouses are all like one after another. They're all kind of leaning and falling because they're like 400 years old. They're all right along this canal on a cobblestone street. And it's like, this is old time European, small, crunched city, alleyways and
I like a
Mini
cobblestone
Cooper
street
cars and all
because
that shit.
They don't redo them, so you really are walking on the same
footsteps that everybody else
and you
took.
can just depict in your head of like Anne Frank getting let out of there, or there's like during the occupation, or even way before that. It's like
For sure.
you're like it's like takes you there.
It's also like 16 whatever. I think it was like 1630.
Yeah,
That's fucking old.
that's
man.
what's 1630?
Like that was like a lot of the. I think when the city was founded, or like a lot of the buildings had like plaques saying the 1600s. That's fucking old.
That's old.
And you're like, this is
Pre-America.
Yeah, pre-America.
They're like it was there, but nobody went.
Yeah, I mean, New York was New Amsterdam at first, right? So
right.
you're thinking like this. I live in the city now.
Yeah.
That this was like we got to replicate, the old one over here.
Yeah.
It was that there was some, and for as much as it's just like party and drugs and crazy shit, there definitely is like a
Sometimes I
another
wonder
vibe
like
to
if
it.
I was not there on vacation, like what would I do in a city?
You know what I thought
Like
was
some
weird?
museums are just like walking. What?
Everything felt like just restaurants and shops and bars. I was like if you worked in like a finance job, where do you fucking go? There was no like high rises. There was no, but not even like I'm not looking for a skyscraper. I was just looking for like everything looked like a little building with like a little like tiny roof, and it's like, do you have offices here?
Right.
All it seemed like was art shops and clothing shops and boutiques, and I was like, is there any like industry here? Is there any?
It's almost like tourist town.
Yeah, and maybe there's
It's
a
like,
whole
what happened?
section
If the tourists
where
go away, does this
this
operate? Wait,
die?
maybe it's just like not Times Square.
I
But
guess.
like, that
but I'm
sounds like it was
thinking,
bigger
if you
than
go
that.
down to like Wall Street, there's like these are where the banks are. These are where the investment firms are.
Yeah.
Like where is that in Amsterdam? It just looks like everyone's on bikes
I
selling.
did go to that in
weed.
Paris. They're like, oh, this is the place where just locals live. There's not much. And I was like, oh, let me stay there for a few days.
For
and
sure.
I did. And I'm like, oh, this is incredibly boring.
Because it's just like
There's
you go to work
very
and you
few
go
coffee
home
shops.
and you
There's very few anything to
yeah,
go
you
to.
want that experience. Yeah. Also,
Unless you go
rubber
to small
duckies.
town. What?
There was several rubber ducky stores,
Yeah.
and I'm saying like
What?
shelves and rows of rubber duckies, big, small, the yellow classic rubber ducky. And I was like, are these like actually like bowls that you can smoke out of? Is this some sort of like other thing? They are rubber duckies that, I don't know. I guess you just buy them. And there's
Why?
multiple
Do you
ones.
put them in the canals?
Maybe there's something with that.
Dude, I love little things like this where you're like, I don't know what the connection is.
And I meant
But
to go in and
noticed
ask,
a
and
thing, and what is like that's the thing. It was like this, like it's not like gotta go to the coffee shops, gotta go to the red light, but it's like there's little noticings that like it's different than us. We don't have
and
rubber
there
ducky
was
stores.
Several of them that I was
Really?
like, and I wonder if that's actually considered very touristy, like, oh, you went to the fucking rubber duckies, or if it's like their
Like the
thing.
M&M store.
Yeah, but I mean there had to be like hundreds on the shelves, and I was like, are you guys like selling out of rubber duckies every moment that you need to have
Yeah.
tons of them? And then
Yeah.
I also have a ton of like candy and like pastry shops, because everyone's like stoned and got the fucking munchies. So you walk into these like,
They do
the classic
candy,
places
right?
where you scoop them into the bags and you make your own candy bags and shit like that.
That's also a touristy area. Ice cream shops are everywhere, and it's like not related to the country, but just like they have tons of ice cream shops in the tourist parts of town. People are on vacation; they want ice
They
cream.
want ice cream. They just want their ice cream.
What would you stay away from
In Amsterdam?
in Amsterdam, in old Amsterdam, old New York? Even old New York was once New Amsterdam.
I'm trying to think of something I didn't really like.
You didn't go to Anne Frank.
I would stay away from Anne Frank.
Anne Frank, sure.
I mean,
it's a downer. It's not a vacation
No, truly,
thing.
if you're telling me that there's also like a wait to get in and all that, I would. Maybe it's awesome on the inside, but I can't imagine being like that was worth the time.
Yeah.
Which is probably the worst thing you
had
could
to
say,
go, but it's a downer.
why? Because just like some Jewish shit.
My dad's a survivor.
Yeah.
It's just like you can't not go.
Right.
At least once. I
What-
will not go again.
Did you feel a way about it?
Yeah, it's sad. You leave feeling sad.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like, I mean, it's
It's like not a vacation thing.
life's not a fucking,
You're a wallow it.
all like peachy keen, and like you should experience those things. But also, it's like, I don't know. I'm here for fucking 48 hours. I don't really.
48 hours.
I'm not trying to
in
do the
Amsterdam.
Holocaust.
Yeah.
Was your dad like
It's a
really
misery
moved
tour.
by the Anne Frank house?
I don't think he went.
Oh, I thought you. You just because your
Just
dad
because
is a survivor.
I feel
you
obligated to go. Yeah.
Right.
But I'll tell you, the second time I was there, that was the first time. The second time I was there, I went back to that grilled cheese. Get this grilled cheese. And again, it might have changed. I can't swear to this. You know how a lot of like restaurants, like you got worse during COVID. They slashed the fucking ingredients and whatever. So I've heard bad reports. But someone else said like, took like 30 minutes to get me a grilled cheese. I'm like, oh, that meant they're making it.
Right, they're trying.
Yeah. So I got to go back. But I went and I took too much time. I was fucking fucked up on my phone, like checking whatever. Wasted an hour. Then I went there and it was closed. And it was like, I think it's just a brunch place and closed like 3. And I'm there down these steps, fucking going, God damn it, I've been looking forward to this grilled cheese for so long. For like weeks, I'm like, I'm going back and I'm almost in tears. And then other people are also in tears, but for a different reason. And they're looking at me, I'm like, I know, right?
I know, no grilled cheese.
No
I
grilled
know,
cheese
man.
today.
I know.
Like they're taking it a little harder than me, but only slightly.
Everybody's got a fucking tissue for you because you're fucking grilled cheese. That's hilarious, man.
What else would you avoid?
I
Or maybe it's nothing. I don't know.
No, I mean, yeah, I feel like doing the red light district, like I wouldn't do it solo. I feel like that would be weird. I feel like it's a place
Fun to
to
joke
go
around. Hey, look at
with
that one.
friends and do the crazy sex
That's a good
stuff.
tip.
Because if you're gonna go like solo, I think there are better places for
That's
like
the Van Gogh Museum.
Yeah,
Go solo to that.
Yeah, and then in general, there maybe are probably better cities with better museums and architecture and stuff to see. But I don't know. I'm sure if I had more time to really explore like the architecture, the certain parts of town, the canals, all of that, it can go toe to toe with any other European city. So I would go more of that, and I would probably avoid. Like I think it's incredibly lame to fly like around the world to fuck a hooker.
Right.
Like why don't you just
can
do that here? I guess it's a little more accessible there, but I don't know if you really.
Every city you go to,
you can do it.
It's going to break down to this. You're going to go for the sights or you're going to go for the experience.
The scene, yeah.
Yeah, the scene. So like Egypt, obviously, you're going to see the pyramids. It's like that's crazy not to. But if you're going to Prague, you might see a sight or two, but like, oh, I heard it's a good party scene here.
Yeah.
New York, you don't have to see the Empire State Building if you're coming here.
Right.
Really sure if you want to cross it off your list, but I don't go there.
No.
You don't go there.
I mean, yeah, it was
And
so funny.
really,
Living
like-
in New York, like I've still never gone to the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, me neither.
I never had gone up to the Empire State Building. My father eventually worked at the building, so then I saw it.
Yeah.
But I never went like as a
Yeah, but
as
what
a
do you
tourist.
want to do is like,
You wanna
there's
go
tons
to
of
be with
bars,
the
tons of
people.
restaurants,
Yes.
walk the streets.
Yes.
That's the shit that is
That's
go to a
what's New
jazz
York.
bar.
Yeah.
Which one? It doesn't
walk
matter.
the streets of the village
Yeah.
and fucking bounce in and out of bars. And
And it seems like Amsterdam, while it has the sites, could also be like, oh, I want to hang out. Like,
Oh, yeah.
But one of them is, and you didn't talk about this at all, like the coffee shops. You
Yeah,
go
so
in,
the coffee shops, what I loved about that, and I was told this going in, I don't smoke a lot of weed. And the weed in America has gotten to the point where I take one hit and I'm like,
yeah.
and I was told that the weed over in Amsterdam, while it's all legal and everything, they kind of stayed at that mid-level. And I love that.
Yeah.
Because I was able to like pass a joint around and smoke it and get the feeling, but not be like, I need to go to fucking sleep right now.
Yeah, why
And-
is obliterated the state we're going into, even in a drug that wasn't legal before? It's like,
We're going-
I don't want to get obliterated. I want to have a good time.
And like if you eat an edible, I want to like eat the edible. I don't want to have to like nibble the cookie. I want to
Imagine-
have a whole
yeah.
brownie. I want to fucking enjoy it. You
What
know?
was that period of time when we couldn't get booze here?
Prohibition?
Prohibition.
Yeah.
So imagine now you're overseas in France where there's no prohibition. And like, oh, you can get alcohol here. It's like, sweet, grab a bottle of Jack and just start chugging it.
Yeah, right.
What are you
that's
doing,
not, that's
dude?
not the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, the coffee shops went to Bulldog, which I think is like the very popular one, but I also think like the best one. It's one of those examples of like, it's not maybe the hole in the wall, but it's also like the best. I think it's franchised at this point all around the world.
Oh, really?
But being able to get a beer and a joint is fucking awesome.
The ones I liked about the coffee shops were once I realized, okay, you can just get weed. It's fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
Then it's like, it became more like the bars of New York where like, what's a playlist? So
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
this is a club. This is a fucking country bar.
This is a dive bar,
this
this
plays
is the
classic
pub.
R&B.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, that's the vibe I'm looking for.
Totally.
And so I found a coffee shop that was like mellow music, like Mazzy Star, kind of like just chill. And I sat there and I read and I'm like, oh, this is the environment I'm looking for. It's
That
not
I could do more of. So
Yeah.
we were in a big group, so it was very like, let's get a round of beers, let's light this joint up, pass it around. I could see, get me in one of these coffee shops, get me some of these pancakes for breakfast,
Yeah.
smoke a joint, read the paper, and just
be chill. Yeah.
I mean, that is probably what I would
try
do
to find a
more
coffee
of.
shop that doesn't play reggae.
Yeah.
Don't be an obvious
There
one.
was a little bit of that. We did have a moment. We were at a bar to close the night, and they had been playing like techno music and pop music, and it was a weird eclectic mix. And then they played Bob Marley.
Yeah.
And then they played One Love and Everything's Gonna Be All Right. And it was like everybody, it was to end the night kind of. Everybody was perfectly like buzzed.
In tune.
And that was a good
nice.
moment. That was enjoyable.
He is great. It's just like
it's cliche.
It's a little too typical. It's
totally.
cliche.
It's on the nose.
Like every
you know what else is
second.
interesting? And this saved me being kind of coming out of retirement for partying and not really doing it as much. I think weekends they go till like 4 a.m. Weekdays it's like 1:30.
Oh really?
So I was like,
shit.
I had hit my limit, and Bert was peer pressuring me like a motherfucker to stay out. And all of a sudden, like you're in the worst cliche American bar, semisonic closing time comes on, and the lights come on, and they're like, you got to get out. And it's like, ugh, I hate that. It was like God was shining upon me to fucking let me go home that night. But the coffee shops were the perfect bar for like my age now. Like I'm not dancing. I don't want to buy a table at a club, but I do want to get a spot, eat some fries, drink a little, smoke a little,
casual,
relax.
Yeah. You just called. I just fucking missed him. Fuck.
Feidelberg, we went to one of the places to buy mushrooms.
Yeah.
And they have those like the truffle fresh. It's not the freeze dried,
What? No. How did it fail?
What are you, an idiot?
It just
you know how to
failed.
answer your fucking phone?
I just did it. Come on.
Conniving little Jew. You can't even open up a phone.
Damn it. Oh, I want to get him on here because I want to hear. Hey, there he is. Brad.
What's up?
I'm here with KFC.
Yeah.
Feidelberg got drunk at football and couldn't come. Dude, this trip sounds so cool.
Oh, it was awesome, Ari. It was really awesome.
I mean, you know how much I love trying to hate you publicly, but this was such a cool get on a plane right now.
When I explained the whole, how it all unfolded and how you gave us 24 hours, I could see in his face that he wanted to be like, fuck Bert, but he was like, this is awesome. This is incredible.
It's so funny, Ari. I texted you like a few months ago, and I said, "Hey, would you be up to going to London for a couple days?" And you were like, "No, I can't."
I know. I was just telling him, like,
fucking
I've
lame.
lost my level of complete freedom.
Wow.
I'm about to go on the road for 6 weeks, and I'm like, I can't do those last 2 days. I can't do it. But it sucked. I felt bad.
You're going on the road for 6 weeks? How do you do it, Ari? That's so crazy.
Meanwhile, Bert's been on the road for 6
no
years.
returns. No returns, 6 weeks. I mean, whatever. How fucking fun was Amsterdam with these guys, Brad?
It was a blast. Every top to bottom, like even like the day before I celebrated Winston Churchill Day, so I had like a full day of drinking the day before.
That's right.
And they woke me up at 9 a.m. and they're like, "You need to work out. They're going to be here in 20 minutes." And they rolled in cold beers right to the Bulldog. We had Bulldog. We had cold beers, joints. I mean, Ari, our night was so crazy.
Yeah.
Casinos, Chinese food, dressed in red, gambling, a banana room, a celebrity appearance at the end of the fucking night.
That's right.
Random as fuck. Random as fuck. A celebrity just comes out of nowhere and goes, "I'll catch that dildo."
Who's the celebrity?
Kevin-
The lead singer of Rammstein?
Kevin Connolly from Entourage. From Entourage.
Really?
Yep.
What? How'd you leave that out, motherfucker?
I forgot. It was wild.
Out of nowhere, he just shows up in the banana room and he's like, and we're like, "We need someone to catch this flying dildo." And he's like, "I'll catch this dildo."
What?
Catches it, fucking throws it in his shirt, and next thing you know, he's on a flight at 10 a.m. We're partying until fucking 4 a.m. with him at a bar down in the red light district on the canal.
It was unbelievable, dude.
Wow.
He rolled in and was like, "I just wanted to say hi. I'm just gonna have a beer." Next thing you know, he's catching a dildo and riding it out to I think he went straight to the airport.
Dude, you put on such a fucking party.
Yeah.
Dude, I was
That's what
so.
he said. He goes, as soon as we got there, 9 a.m., and I was like, I was thinking, restaurant? No, beer,
We were at the
joint.
bar before I even could put my bags in my room. Bert, I was happy to I wasn't sure, how hard you guys go and how much fun you have, and I was like, we really gotta fucking make sure we live up to the hype, and it sounds like you had a good time with us. I was happy that we put on a good enough performance.
We had a great time with you. The picture you posted the next day of you passed out on the escalator, the moving sidewalk.
Yep.
Fucking had us rolling.
Yeah. Because you got to decide who am I going to invite. You invite these guys right there, fucking, because they could have easily been like, no, I just want to walk around. Like right there.
No, it was, dude. We had my assistant from my movie was our tour guide.
Nice.
So she took us to all the beautiful places. They saw the city. They went around. They got the views. We went all over Amsterdam. And then we ended up in the red light district.
Naturally.
I mean, honestly,
You got to see
having those moments that you have when you go the next morning when you wake up and you're hungover as fuck and you smile and you go, God, we had a good night last night.
Yeah, we did. Yep, it was exactly what it was, man. It was so good.
I had 4 of them. I had 4 of those fucking moments.
In that trip?
In that night. Just that night, at the very end of the night, I had 4 moments where I was like, this can't get any fucking crazier.
Yeah. Dude,
and then E rolls in. Fucking, I'll catch that dildo.
Dude, you know those in the back of the fucking plane magazines where they go, the chick from The Office is perfect 2 days in London, or you know, whatever. Mindy Kaling's, that's also The Office. You know, it's great 2 days. But like the Bert Kreischer 48 Hours in Amsterdam with Bert.
That should
it's
be
like,
the selling
I got
point.
invited by the machine to come to Amsterdam to party.
That is
Here were my 2 days.
Fucking bucket list shit right there. It really was.
Yeah, each one of those.
And I gotta give it for Kevin. He was out. He tried to pull the Irish goodbye at one point on the first night and was like, and I was like, no, you don't. Bring the beer.
He caught me and was like, we are drinking all the beer in Amsterdam. I was like, yes, sir. Understood. I'm staying. Can't say no.
That's so great when you see someone about to dip. Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Dude, it was, I mean, eating bananas out of pussies, face fucking dildos. It was the fucking craziest time you could have.
It really is.
And you know what? Amsterdam was perfect because there were so many different events in that day, including going into the saddest casino I've ever been in my entire life.
It was so bad.
Me winning $1,800.
What?
Like, it was just fucking top to bottom amazing.
Well, we also forgot that we were partying on like a Wednesday. So we walk into the casino and it was just, I've never felt a place that had worse vibes. It was like brown and sad and quiet. And they wouldn't let Bert in with his sweatpants, and we almost just said, "Fuck it, we're not going to go in at all." But one of the rules of Chinese New Year is you have to gamble, you have to place a bet. So we powered through. I lost $1,000. I put 1,000 on red. Immediately we lose, and Feidelberg starts puking from the mushrooms in the casino.
$1,000 immediately. If I lost $1,000, I would have shot up a ballroom dance contest.
It was just the vibes were off, and then all of a sudden Bert hit and he won. It was funny. He was going, you know what the worst part is? I don't even feel anything. I don't even get a rush from winning or losing. I just feel nothing. And then his bet hits and he goes, oh, I feel it. I was lying. I was lying to all you. I feel it. I feel it.
That's a good Bert.
It was awesome.
Dude, it was the perfect energy because the whole thing started on a lark.
Yep.
On like a genuine moment in a podcast where I was like, you guys will go if I called you. And they're like, yes. And so then immediately I was like, we have to do this. And we planned it twice. We were originally going to take them to Morocco. And then that fell through because I had to do something with my parents or something. And then this one came in, it just fit in perfect. We had 3 days off in Amsterdam. And I was like, and then they came to the show. Honestly, one of the funny shows. Maddie Smith came out. We flew Maddie out. Maddie was like, the cocaine sprinkled on the joint. That woman is so much positive energy.
Yep.
Oh yeah, she's like, this is great.
Your guys, and the show top to bottom, Mark, Maddie, Shane, and you was unbelievable. The amount of
Shane and Mark were there.
Shane Torres
Shane
and
Torres,
Mark Smalls.
Me, Maddie Smith.
Mark Smalls was great. So Mark had a bit too many mushrooms early in the day, so he disappeared.
Hold on. That's the best moment of the whole fucking night.
It really was. It really was.
Low-key overdoses on mushrooms in the middle of the day. Okay, and then he just disappears, and they're like, "We lost him. We don't know where he is." So we walk out of the banana room. All these guys. We're just looking for the next thing. All of a sudden, we see all the girls were with, and then Mark shows up out of fucking nowhere.
The reappearance. We were taking a
what? You just found him?
So we were taking a group picture, and all of a sudden,
like, we got Mark.
I swear to God, it was like the resurrection of Christ. Like we were like, Mark has returned. He hath returned.
That's great.
It was a very fun moment. It was the girls who.
It was epic. We have video of all this. I'm sure that you guys will put it up on a blog.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll try to put it up on a blog. But it's so fun. It was so fucking fun.
I'll tell you what, right now, Bert, Feidelberg is in the hurt shop because we came home the next night. We did Louis C.K. at the Garden, so he was drinking for that. He went out yesterday for Sunday football. We come into work today, and I was like, bro, I think you got to go to the hospital. I mean, he is hurting. It was all worth it, though, man. It was the most organic thing like that has ever come about. And, I mean, I thanked you a million times for it, but I can't thank you enough. It was really incredible, man.
Dude.
No, it was awesome. And hey, here's the beauty.
Bert, I am home from June till the end of October. Please call me on 24 hours notice.
Dude, Bert, you were talking about. I was thinking about it, Bert, because you said how you think it could honestly be like a series. I think if you called the show 24, I know you might have to
24
some
hours to
trouble.
pack.
Yeah, just something with 24 where the whole idea is you got to go in 24 hours. I really think there's something there, man. It was such
We were
good
talking about it
content.
because the first thought was like, what if I don't have underwear? What if I don't have like clothes? Like the laundry needs to be done. It's like, just get it there.
Just figure it out.
Any of your issues are really not issues.
Nope.
You can just go.
Yep.
No, they're not issues. We still have Feidelberg's cape.
Yeah, that's right. Feidelberg had a cape. I said we went to this
That outfit was
abracadabra
sick.
place, and he had a red cape on top
That
of it.
outfit was sick.
Yeah, he looked awesome in those bell bottoms. That was unbelievable. It was top to bottom unbelievable. Unreal.
I'm jumping into a Google meeting right now. I love you guys. I'm in London.
Thanks, Bert.
Kevin, I'll see you in Tempe.
Love it, man. I'll see you there.
Buddy, love you. I'll talk to you.
Good luck on tour, buddy. Have a blast.
Thanks. I'll talk to you soon.
The Kevin
Google
Connolly
meeting. Just go to google.com. Who has to walk him through that?
Yeah, it was.
It's so much to remember.
It is.
And then we have someone else.
I'm forgetting fucking Kevin Connolly popping in. Dude, he caught the dildo and inexplicably just went like this. And he puts it down his shirt.
What?
And then immediately it was like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? This is gross.
That
This
was
is
on his
gross.
chest all that
Yeah,
night.
fucking vile, man. Yeah, it was like an episode of Entourage. It was like, we're with the boys, and then this happened, and then that happened, and
Wow.
so for someone who doesn't travel, it was like 0 to 100, man. It
That
really
sounds
was.
fucking sick.
It was, dude.
God.
Get Bert to take you next.
Yeah, he invited. It was just like, I can't.
So obviously, how can you return the favor, right? It's like,
Yeah.
Bert, it doesn't work the other way, right?
Yeah.
So we said, what if we just show up at one of his places
and say, we're going out.
Yeah.
Bert
and
I
we
used
do
to-
it at like Shreveport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not some
Pick a thing.
glorious place, and all of a sudden you're on set.
And if
or
he's like,
at
no, I
stage.
can't. I got to do this. Like, you
No,
don't
no,
anymore.
no, 24. I'll give you 24 hours.
Right.
Get your shit together, and
Return
then meet me
your
at the
text.
dive bar in fucking Omaha or whatever the fuck.
Did you see Aziz's Mark Twain speech for Chappelle?
I feel like
was
it did, but
take these mushrooms. He goes, no, I can't have this. He goes, do you want to say this is the night you did not do
Not do
mushrooms with Dave
mushrooms?
Chappelle? And
You
he's
gotta
like,
say
all
yes.
right, dude.
That was exactly. A lot of people said to me when he extended the invite, he kind of did it like a challenge. Like you have 24 hours to reply, and people were like, "Are you gonna go?" And I was like, "Am I gonna?"
Yeah, that was your poet. It was like,
Yeah,
I have to.
I'm gonna fucking
When Bert
go.
calls you, says, let's go, you go.
And you know what? God was shining down upon me because he did it on a Monday, and that is usually like I have my kids on the weekend, and then usually Monday, Tuesday is when I'm off, and so it was like
Perfect.
The stars aligned. I'm going. It was absolutely unreal.
Dude, me and Bert used to talk about this. We were on the Joker's cruise a long time ago, 2017 maybe, and we were like, how cool would it be to drug a comic? He said this. He said this, but not for the party, to put him out and leave him somewhere. Leave him
like
on an island
on
in
an island.
Cambodia. Yeah. And it's like we're on tour, like drop him off on this tour, like we're on a cruise, and now you're just on an island. You take his
wake up.
ID, you give him a few dollars to get by, and then it's like
Find your way home.
because we waited out, and we were like, the joy if nothing goes crazy wrong in your life. Like it was like my brother's wedding was tomorrow. I missed that.
Right.
As long as that doesn't happen, the adventure to get home and to do all the things would be irreplaceable in life.
You realize how even so I didn't even think twice about my phone or my credit card.
Yeah.
Like I got there and my phone wasn't working because I didn't
Great.
right, and I was trying to get money at the casino and it wasn't working. And it was kind of like, yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, I ended up just like calling these places and figuring it out. But there's something fun about like if you didn't have your shit, you didn't know where you were, live like they did a couple hundred years ago.
Yeah.
Figure it the fuck out.
Here's your ID and $100.
Get home.
Yeah.
Or don't. Get wherever. Start a life there. I don't know.
Right.
Get your new
you
underwear.
will eventually. But what an adventure to learn a language and then be able to find a consulate.
You wake up on a fucking island
with
off
a
the
note.
coast of
I think Bert said this too. It would be a note like, "Hey, this is Bert and Ari.
We
Drugged you. We've taken all your stuff. Don't fear. You're in no danger. You're in a pretty safe country.
Right. Safe enough.
Yeah. Don't go to the
Figure it
city.
out.
Don't go to Guatemala City. But any of the other towns are great. And then just like talk to me when you get back.
So what if Bert were to call you or someone were to do this with you? What city would you hope it would be?
With Bert and me, I hope it's somewhere exotic.
Yeah.
Not Europe. I hope it's Asia or Morocco.
What is Morocco like? Like Morocco is like tropical, or it's like
warm, but I don't know for sure. It's
off the coast of Africa, or
it's in here. It's down. It's like top
oh,
coast of
okay.
Africa.
I thought it was like on
So
the
it's
other
like
side
Spain.
of Africa.
There's Algiers. That's Morocco,
Got it.
right?
So that's almost more like Mediterranean-ish.
But like northern
But
Africa.
Africa, so it's not. I thought it was like on the eastern or the western side of Africa, so I thought it was like truly.
Borneo. If he's like, we're going to Borneo tomorrow,
Yeah.
Papua New Guinea, or fucking. I've never been to Laos.
Where? What do you consider the most exotic place you've been?
Either Myanmar, which is down here,
Mm-hmm.
Rangoon, yeah, or East Timor.
Have you ever been to Newark, New Jersey?
It's probably one of those.
Crazy. There's so many fucking places to go
Yeah,
in
and
the
then
world. It's
you do
wild.
these little islands for the. For
Have you done like
New Year's ones.
Fiji? Have you done like those like
Not
the
Fiji, the other one.
Maldives?
No, maybe it's
Isn't that over
Fiji. It's Do I have a thing for it? It's
Have you done Dubai?
No, I just turned down gigs in Dubai.
Really? I feel like that's I
It
like
seems
to
like you want to go.
well,
That's fine.
it's turned into like this, influencer fucking whatever, but I also feel like it's like a very man-made but
Yeah, that's why I'm not interested. There's no
Right.
culture.
But yeah, there's no culture that
I
I'm
like
interested
culture.
in, but I also think that they probably built it right and there's a lot of cool shit.
It's Vegas.
Yeah.
It's a country of Vegas.
Yes,
It's like we're
yes.
gonna party, whatever. But
Yes,
you're
they
not
have
actually in Vegas.
the island that looks like a palm
Tahiti,
tree and all
that's
that
what
shit.
it is. Tahiti. I went there for New Year's a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'd like to do. I'd like to get back to the Amalfi Coast. That was fucking unbelievable.
Amalfi Coast. Just went there. Santino. You got to talk to him about it.
Oh, I
Italy.
did. So I did
forgot that's a question I ask
Santorini.
everybody. Where do you want to go next?
I did Santorini, Positano, Capri,
Yeah.
and I would honestly go back to any of those. But yeah, that like the Mediterranean to me is unbelievable. Whether it's Greece, Italy, whatever, that was so fucking incredible. That was like where I was like, all right, I understand traveling now. It was a time where I was kind of like, what's the difference? It's all about people. It's all about your experience. Whether you do it here, you do it there, who cares? And it's like, no. If you have the right people and you're doing it overlooking like these fucking beautiful landscapes and seascapes and stuff, it's like, no.
It's
that
also
matters.
it's newness combined with vacation. Combined. So it's like, oh, let's go nut. Let's eat nice things. And also like, whoa, where are we?
Yeah.
You know?
You know what I thought was interesting? And as a more well-versed traveler, maybe you can speak to it.
Oh.
I thought customs was like a thing to worry about.
Yeah.
Like I feel
Where?
like
Here or there?
both.
Yeah.
I thought like we didn't like bring anything either direction, but like if we wanted to, we absolutely could have.
Yeah.
Especially coming
Interesting.
home, I was thinking like, oh, coming home from a place like Amsterdam, they're gonna like check. It was like,
Wow.
keep it coming.
This is the exact kind of like travel, like noticing, whatever the word, observation that I'm looking for. Where it's
Yeah.
like, you're not going to remember this in 2 years.
No,
when you remember
but,
Amsterdam.
But when I was packing, I was like, I had like one of those like pill cases that has like a couple Advil and a couple Imodium, and I was
I
like,
think they would have gone through it.
I thought so too. I was like, because these are just stray pills, and after the fact, I was like, oh my god, I shouldn't have packed that. What do I do? And they were just like, they don't care.
That's what I know about China.
China, they did it or did
It's
not?
punishable by death.
Right.
And then they don't check you. I guess they're like, you're going to take that risk?
Yeah.
I think they're not going to take
So
that
it's
risk.
just all of a
I
sudden
finished all my edibles on the plane, threw out the rest on the plane.
Right.
And then I was like, not even a dog. Anywhere
Nothing.
near here.
I mean,
could've
not
taken all
even
this.
like they didn't even put it through a machine. I don't think
Yeah.
it was like whatever. But I had visions of like us getting detained for I left a fucking edible in my pocket
Yeah.
or whatever. I'm gonna get Brittany Grinered. Even if
Yeah.
I did,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anybody fucking.
I smoked on the way back from Amsterdam. like while I was waiting for the cab, and I'm smoking outside, so it's cold, so it's like smoke sticks to you more when it's cold, cigarettes or otherwise, and I got in the plane, and the cab driver was like, "Hey, dude," and this was 7-10 years ago, and he goes, "Oh, hey, they're gonna check you. You can't smuggle weed back," and I'm like, "I'm not going to," and then we drove another 2 minutes, and he was like, "Hey, dude, I'm not joking. You're gonna get in a lot of trouble," and I'm like, "I'm not taking anything." Amsterdam. Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh no, dude, it's just I just smell. I'm not taking anything."
Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I guess it's like if they do decide, or if they put it through the X-ray and they see something, you're fucked. Yeah. But I was kind of like, oh boy, what happens now? And nothing. Nothing happens now.
I mean, it's like driving drunk. You'll probably get away with it.
Yeah, you're right. But the deterrence, we were going into Amsterdam, and Maddie was ahead of me talking with the guy who said the fat one. He was like behind the glass checking the passports. But then 3 like Dutch soldiers, I guess, came walking at me, and they just were like, we needed to get by, But there was this moment where the 3 of them were looking at me and walking at me, and I had nothing on me, but I was just like, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? And they were just like, excuse me, sir. And I was like, right this way.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think that's how black people feel every time they see a cop.
Every single day of their life. Please don't, please don't. Okay, never mind, we're good. Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah, you ever have a cop pulled next to you when you're driving? You're like, shit.
Every time.
I don't have any drugs.
I'm driving the speed limit.
I'm rested.
Totally.
But still, you're nervous.
Every time. Every fucking time. And then they don't even shoot us. They don't do
anything. So
anything.
Amalfi Coast you would go back to.
Totally would go back there.
Where else? Where have you never been that you'd like to go? You don't have to hold to this, but what's on your mind?
I would like to go to Australia. And what
Australia
used to deter
kills.
me was the distance. Yeah. But I've decided if and when I start doing more of this stuff, I'm just going to pay the money for first class. Australia might be a little bit too much, but to me, I hate the plane and I hate the crampness, and it almost makes it ruin it for me. So I'm just going to fucking pony up the extra money.
I went to Australia first class once, and
what does that cost?
$25,000.
I was going to say that's a bit too much. If you tell me like the flight is $2,000, but first class is $10,000. I'm lucky enough that I can just say
600 more.
I'll
Absolutely.
do it.
Yeah.
But 25 is a bit much.
Literally,
but also the flip side is like 24 hours on like a non-first class flight is like put a bullet in my head.
Dude, on the way back it was a Rogan, a UFC ticket. I didn't pay for it.
Okay.
Rogan didn't pay for it. It's a free companion first class ticket. And then they expanded so much. They're like, well, we didn't expect this. So who's your friend?
Right.
Literally, Dana White comes up to me at the event, I think, in Australia. It was like, hey, do you know how much your ticket costs?
You better bring some fucking value to this thing.
I with you. If you sent me back there, you don't think I could have used $12,000? I desperately, dude. Desperately.
Yeah, cash value, please. I don't know, man.
But when you show up and everyone's like this, at customs like,
and
you're just
dude,
like,
brutal. I'm good to go. Yeah.
Let's go out.
I think so. One way or another, I'd like to get there. I kind of want to go like in like this area. Like I don't even know what this is. Like
India kind of place?
Like but more
East,
like
East
like what's like here?
Yeah.
Is there anything like there? Like any islands that are like
there are.
you know
what's around
like,
here, I think? The fucking islands you can't go to because they'll just spear you.
Kill you, yeah. Like they don't let any people That, maybe
like somebody
on
tried
that.
once and then like they're like, nah.
This,
oh no, right here. Madagascar. It's right here.
I could fuck around with Madagascar.
Yeah,
I
that
think.
would be cool.
I could do that.
That would be cool.
Maybe see a little bit more of South America. And when I say more, I mean any, because I've never been there.
I could give you some tips about South America.
Yeah, I bet you could. The stupidest moment of my life.
Yeah.
I was writing a blog back in the day about I think it was when SARS was hopping. Ironically, it was about like pandemics and shit.
Yeah.
And I opened up a map, and my joke or my thought process was, how about every time you fly to like Africa or whatever, if you have some place where there's disease, you have to stop at a place before you come back to America. And I opened up a map, and I didn't realize that it was capitals were listed, and it said Hamilton, which is the capital of Bermuda.
Okay.
And I go, what the fuck is Hamilton Island? Just off the coast of America in the middle of the Atlantic? How have I never heard of Hamilton Island? And I'm like writing this blog being like, has anybody ever been to Hamilton Island? Blah, 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 blah. Going on and on about it, realizing it's just fucking Bermuda, like, you goddamn moron.
Everyone's saying the same thing.
Such a fucking idiot. And I would like to see the Northern Lights. I want to go up to Alaska.
So you know what you got to do that? We'll wrap it up now. But for that, to really get it, you got to go for like a week
to make sure you like
and like get one of those huts that like you're underground with
the bubble.
Yep. And all you're doing there is going for the Northern Lights. Because my friends who live in Iceland, they're like, I see it 3 times a year.
Yeah.
But off my back porch, it's not, but it's like you got to get lucky.
Right.
So you got to be out
and you got to do it
not
all
cloudy.
the time. Right. So I would like to try to go see that.
I would love to see the
like
Northern
if I
Lights.
don't see it, I would hope that there's still enough that I'd be like, this was still cool. But that is one thing I do think I want to see.
If I'm 88, if I'm on my deathbed, you know, and I'm like, whatever, and like, what are your? I would regret way more not seeing the Northern Lights than not having kids. Like a small part of me be like, what if I had children?
But I want to see those things in the sky. Oh, and you know what? I feel like seeing like Yellowstone or like the nicest part of America. Yeah. I think it would be weird to be in America and never have seen like the beauty part of America, just like the shitty cities of America.
Yeah.
So those would be
6th and 17th.
Yeah.
KFC, you can watch him every week on KFC Radio.
KFC Radio and 1 Minute Man on Instagram.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
Yeah.
Check out his Instagram. What is it? KFC Radio.
KFC Barstool.
KFC Barstool, and he just does like topical stuff. I don't know how you talk as the Micro Machines guy.
Yeah,
you talk about it as fast
I've been practicing.
Guy.
I'm just
trying to
cram it in.
Yeah, and you like he only has a minute, so he's really got to get a minute 30 in there.
I appreciate that you noticed that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's not like you're not skipping words. You're saying everyone. I get it.
Yep.
But it's tight. And you're like, and that's my minute. Goodbye. Like it's cutting on the.
Thank you. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
That does not go unnoticed.
Thanks for doing it, and
Appreciate
I'm glad you finally went somewhere cool.
Yeah, man.
And keep that up. Keep fucking trying new places.
For sure. Thank you, man.
Sick. Well, that's the episode, everybody. I hope you had a good time. I know I enjoyed that. What a wild trip. You know, you can say what you want about Bert. You can say whatever you want. He's a fat piece of shit. He's a bad father. He blows stories out of proportion. He looks to victimhood. He's like a laughable man in his friend group. He's made a lot of money letting his friend laugh at him. He's absentee. He's an alcoholic. He's fat. He's a braggart. Bad dresser. Bald. Underrated bald. His where always was a hat. He values money over substance. But whatever you want to say about him, he does know how to have a good time. And what a fun trip that seemed like it was. God, he's living his life right. For such a fat, bald, bad father, bad alcoholic, fucking laughable to his friend group, braggadocious liar, values money over friendship person, he does have a good fucking time. Thank you, KFC, for coming in. Everybody, make sure to check out his podcast. I'm on there all the time. Probably been on there 5 different times, 6 different times. Check that out. Called KFC Radio. A lot of funny comments on there constantly. And he also does the Answer the Internet series. It's always really good. I do have some bad news for you. About Amsterdam. I've been back. Since we recorded this podcast, I've been back. And unfortunately, maybe you heard it in my double negative special from Austin, Texas, before everybody moved there. Talk about the grilled cheese place. It's right next to the Anne Frank house. And I went back. The last time I was there, it was closed. It was closed at 3 p.m. It's a brunch spot, and I was crying outside the Anne Frank. I was literally crying as other people were coming by, crying for different reasons. And they were like, "It's sad, right?" I'm like, "It is sad to come all this way to the Netherlands and not to get here in time because I was on my phone too much. And I missed the fucking window to get that grilled cheese sandwich." But this time I was not going to make that mistake, and I went by there, and I got the grilled cheese, and it wasn't good. I heard reports on this from my brother, and I said, no, that's just got to be complaining Jews. Come to find out, the restaurant's under new ownership and new management, and it's just one type of cheese with store-bought bread on a Foreman grill. It's dead, everybody. I had a time, and it was gone. I'll never be back. I'll never be able to recreate that great a grilled cheese. I'm telling you, it was 3 different kinds of cheese, a freshly just grilled tomato on there. It was just amazing. It was amazing. But it's gone. There's a time and place, and that time and place is over now. That time is over. That place is still there, but the time is over. So I urge you all to make your own paths. Make your own paths. Figure it out for yourself. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Next week, By the way, do make sure to check out my tour schedule. It's in Australia, starting May 17th in Melbourne. May 18th is sold out. Adelaide, May 24th. Canberra, May 25th. Nick Capper is going to be joining me for Adelaide, Melbourne, and Canberra. And then Brisbane, May 31st, and Sydney, June 1st. All tickets are at shaffir.com. We will also find, starting next week, pre-sale for the Shroomfest shirts. Shroomfest this year is July, I think, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. It's at 21st, whatever that Saturday, Sunday, Monday it is. If you want to participate, if you don't know anything about Shroomfest, you just got to take shrooms. Officially, because of YouTube standards, I'm not talking about any sort of psychedelic shrooms. I'm just talking about mushrooms. They're delicious. Make sure to get some non-poisonous kind. Make sure to take shrooms. Do this, I did. And eat them. Shroomfest. You know what I'm talking about. Shroomfest shirts will be available for pre-sale next week, as will, hopefully, the Patreon. Starting the Patreon. Here's what I'm going to do in it. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. It's, I'll be on next week. I'm the guest next week, talking about China. A fun trip to Shanghai, Beijing. I'm going to leave out Hong Kong because they will be free someday soon. This video will now not be shown in China because I said that. First, what we're going to do is, what I want to do is, everybody gets stickers. You Be Trippin stickers with a stamp. And I want you to put those stickers up in odd places and then take pictures of it and send it in and tell me where they were. I'm going to do that. I'm going to have a lot of fucking fun with it. It's going to be more about fun, less about money. I want you to write in your travel stories yourself. Call in. We're going to have a Stav-style call-in thing. Someone will go through and I can hear them on air. I want you to send in postcards that I can read on the Patreon. I'll give you a place to mail it in on the Patreon from wherever you'll go. Let's see some weird stamps. Mail in some dollar bills, money from everywhere, chew it up. And that's it. I'm going to do blogs, picture blogs, places I've been. I'm going to do audience write-ins and all sorts of stuff. But the Patreon is coming next week, so I'll tell you about it next week. And that's it, I think. Today's episode is produced by Your Mom's House Network. Done very well. It is edited by who edited this one? Chris Larson? No. Is it Alan? If it's Alan, he's just an editor. If it's Chris Larson, he's raised money for communist causes all over third world countries, and he's been a part of trying to overthrow those governments and put in communist regimes in multiple areas. It's gotten a lot of servicemen in a lot of danger. And that's Chris Larson's fault, but he believes in something, and that's important. Alan, however, has no last name, and he is an editor. That's it, everybody. That's it. Hope you had a good time. Till next week with China. Guten Tag. No, I know this. I know in Amsterdam. Talk? No, that's thank you. Fucking shit. Well, keep tripping, everybody. I'll see you next week. Subscribe also, wherever you are. Wherever you're listening or watching. We almost got to 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. Go subscribe right now. Get me to 50K. Bye.